Welcome. This video is going to be really interesting and we'll discuss a very important and very easy question which will not seem as easy at a first glance. Like an apparently hard but actually easy question. From electricity, physics, resistance. If you're not interested in this topic, you may clear out right now. Otherwise, please watch this video and you may subscribe to my channel and like if you actually I'm not like most of the YouTubers. I don't beg for subscribers and I don't tell you to subscribe at the end of each video, but if you like, you can do that too. You can check out my content. First of all, let us have a cube here, okay? Yes, I have to draw this big because otherwise it will be easy to make you understand. Bigger the better in this case, okay? Yeah, can you see this? Okay, it's let me draw this once more. Don't mind. Yeah, this should be enough. Yes. Let's say we have a wire here, a connecting wire. This is point A. So current is entering here, and then assume each of the edges of the cube. Okay. Just a second. Okay. This is a bit. Okay. Let's just do it. Is this visible now? Yes. So that's all. Never mind. So now assume each of the edges of the cube to be a wire, to be a connecting wire, and they're arranged like this. The circuit is set up in this way in a cube form, and one more connecting wire is getting out from here. Let this point be B. So one wire is entering A and then the current is flowing all through the cube, and then it's getting out from this point B. So what is the equivalent resistance Req from A to B? I'm between the points A and B. Between points A and B. So you may use Kirchhoff's law and many other advanced things, but there's a very really easy way to solve this. Okay, I'm going to show you this. So let's draw some resistors across each edge of the cube. So there will be 12 resistors in all, right? There will be 12 resistors in all. And yeah, we can apply this trick only if all these resistances are equal. I mean, you can't say that this is 1 ohm, that is 2 ohm, that is 4 ohm. No, all this must be equal. Even then, in most of the questions, they will not give you such questions that all the resistances are not equal. That will be way more complex. This, I think it's a bit hard to understand. The resistances are not like crossing over. It's like this, okay? The symbol for disjoint wires. The resistances are not crossing over. There, I'm just drawing a 3D cube in 2D planes. Obviously, such problems are inevitable. And well, so okay. At this edge, we'll have one resistor. And yeah, here we'll have one resistor. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So 12 resistors and all. Now the question is, you have to find the equivalent resistance. So first of all, you approach the problem in this way. If you assume the current to be I, then the current will be dividing in 3 equal parts. That's why I said this will only work if all the resistances are equal. Let resistance of all resistors be 2 ohm. So all these are 2 ohm. This is 2 ohm. This is 2 ohm. So I'm not writing this. Okay. All these are 2 ohm. So as they are equal, so suppose the current stops here at this junction. So it has 3 paths to go. This and this, and all the paths have equal resistances. So it will divide itself into 3 equal parts. I by 3, I by 3, I by 3. But it's a bit problematic to write I by 3. That's why we assume the total current to be 3I. We assume. You can also take I by 3, but that will also give you the same answer, doesn't matter. So 3I, so then this will become I, 3I over 3 is just I, this will again become I, this will again become I. Now consider this amount of current I, it is going on here. Now at this point it has two paths to go, only two paths in this case, this and this. And both the paths again have equal resistance. So this, at this point the current will become I by 2 and this current will also become I by 2. That's why I drew a big diagram, okay. Consider this I here. At this point it has two paths, I by 2 and I by 2 again, because it will, the current will be dividing it into its equal parts, because these are parallel resistor. When the current is having more than one path to go, it will divide itself into equal parts because the resistance are equal in this case, okay. And if the resistance is not been equal, then it would have divided in that corresponding ratio. So that's all. Now okay, and now this amount of current, this is also having two paths, I by 2, same case. I hope this is it's clear till now, right? No problem. Now you consider this I by 2, this will come here, this will again have two paths to go, isn't it? So this will again break itself into two parts, so I by 4 times I by 4. Can you understand or not? At this point this I by 2 current will have two paths to go, but at this point we already have a I by 2 current, and from here we are having, I think, I by 4, right? So in this case you see what will happen. In this case basically this I by 2 current and this I by 2 current from here will actually merge to form I. Okay, this is the thing. Now many students actually get confused. They just think that okay, so at this point the current is again having two paths, so in this direction I by 4. No, don't do that. Because see, why we will not do that? Because that's a good question. Why not? Because see, we have a I by 2 current from here, and the current will not be taking, like, see, from at these 2 points both are having equal resistor, so the current shouldn't have any preference. No, I should take this path. That point is okay. But as a current is already coming here, and as and when those two current combine, we are getting 1 ohm. We are getting I, and this, and yeah, that is Kirchhoff's first law, as far as I can remember. The amount of current that is entered in the system must get out of the system also. It cannot be that suppose 3I current enters the system and suppose say 1I gets a no. 3I current has entered, that means 3I current must get out from here also. That we know. So okay, so I here, this I only, I'm writing it once more. That's fine. Now consider this I by 2 here. This is coming here, and from here also one I by 2 is coming. So this will again form I here, right? Now you consider this I by 2 is, these two have already been considered. Now consider this I by 2 here. This I by 2 is coming here, and this I by 2 is also coming here. So they will again form I here. So you see, at this junction I and I will again give you 3I. This is the concept. Okay, I and I here. You can see this, right? Now we have to find equivalent resistance. So here we don't need to use Kirchhoff's law, we just use Ohm's law. V equals IR, right? Okay, now the important part. The thing that you have to recognize here is that the voltage remains constant in parallel connection. Suppose this is called a series connection. Both are connected in series. In this case, the same amount of current will be flowing through them because they are in a straight like series, but the voltage will not remain the same, because the first resistor will, like, that's called a potential drop. Okay, the first resistor will use up some of the voltage. But if we had a parallel connection, let's suppose I'm taking the most simplest possible diagram. Here I have one resistor and here I have one resistor. So as you can see, the current is parallel because the current is breaking itself into two parts at this point, right? It's breaking itself into two parts. But you see, both these resistances, you consider these 2 points, the voltage is remaining same across these 2 points, right? The voltage is remaining same. The current, in this case, the current will not be the same. The current will divide itself, but the voltage remains the same. Now this is the concept that we will have to use here to solve this question. Now you consider the total voltage between points A and B. Okay, let that be VAB. So V equals IR. So VAB will be the total current. We don't, we know the total current, right? The total current is 3I entering, 3I exiting. So the total current is 3I. So VAB will be total current, which is 3I times R. R is the total resistance. Do we know what the total resistance is? No. That is what we are trying to find out. So let this be R only. So we need to find out R. And by the way, what is VAB? What the hell is VAB? That is the total potential difference. Okay, no problem. So VAB can also be written as, because see, we don't have an expression for VAB. We can't directly find VAB because for that we need to find the value of R, right? So VAB can also be written as the voltage across this point says, for instance, there are many paths of the current. Okay, I'm just tracing some paths. Okay, actually, if I do it with black, it will be a bit problematic for you to understand. So actually, I don't have any other color pen also. Okay, let's do it. No problem. So one path is that, just follow me. This path, this here, and this here. Right? I mean this. One path is this. One path is this. Like you can understand, there are many paths. Okay, now the thing is that all these paths are actually connected in parallel, because you see at the beginning only the current is dividing itself into three parts. So all these paths are connected in parallel. That means the potential difference will remain the same. That means the potential difference across these paths. Let's name this point C, this point D, this point E, and this point F. E and F are not visible, right? Okay. So that means the potential difference between these paths, the sum of this potential difference will give me VAB, right? So that means I can write V of VAB, that is total voltage, as VCD, the voltage in this across this resistor here, plus VDE across this resistor, plus VDE plus VEF across this path, this resistor. I can do that, right? Because I'm just writing the total voltage VAB as these parts. So now this sum here, VCD plus VD plus VD, this is actually equal to 3I times R, because 3I is the total current and R is what we need to find out. Now you will ask me how is this going to help us? Because you see, consider VCD. So across CD, across path CD, again V equals I, we can apply the same Ohm's law. So VCD will be equal to I. Here the current is only I. Here the current is only I, right? Because 3I. So 3I is broken into three parts. So here the current is only I. And here we know the value of R in this case. R is 2 ohms. So we know the R. So that is going to be 2I. So VCD is going to be 2I. Right? 2I. Similarly, VCD and VDE is also going, no. In case of VD, we have I by 2 here. I think you can see this, right? We have I by 2 here because the current here is I by 2. We already saw how this is coming to be I by 2. So in this case, the current will be I by 2, and the potential and IR, the resistance will be 2. So VD will just be I, because these 2 in the denominator and the 2 in the numerator will just cancel each other out. So VDE is just I, and now you come to VEF. VEF is again this resistor will remain 2, R is 2 again, all the resistances are 2 ohm. And what is the current here? You see, current here actually it's I, because this currents from two paths, 2 I by 2s are combining at this point, and then the current is becoming I. Okay, 2 I by 2s are combining at this point. So that's why the current here is I. So again it's gonna be 2I. Right? Again it's gonna be 2I. Excuse me. For VCD we had the same thing, right? I times. Sorry, actually I was getting confused. That's why this I by 2 I have written for this current here. Okay, this is not I by 2. So VCD is 2I, VD is I, and VEF is also 2I. Okay, so 2I, 2I. Now I'm rubbing this part, okay. We will be solving this question in the cube only. That's the fun part, because we have a very small board here, don't mind. So VCD plus VD plus VF will be 2I plus 2I. What is this? 2 plus 2 is what? 4 plus 1, 5I. So 5I. So 5I is VCD plus VD plus VF, which is equal to VAB. So in place of VAB we can write 5I, and VAB again is equal to 3I times R. So V5I will be equal to 3IR. So just cancel this I's, right? So what do you get? R is 5 by 3 ohm, right? Just cross multiply. So R is 5 by 3 ohms. So that's a simple way to solve this question. I actually explained to you, that's why it took a lot of time, almost 14 minutes, over 14 minutes. But the exam will not be, if such questions come, or if you need to solve it fast for whatever reason. I mean, I am focusing on the concept. I'm not preparing you for exam or anything. I'm just focusing on the concept. So the concept is this: R comes up to 5 by 3 ohm. Now you will ask me that whether is there any short trick or, yeah, actually I always believe that short trick will only take you to a short distance. Short tricks will only take you to a short distance. You apply short trick. Applying short trick is not a mistake, but only when you know the concept. That's why first we learn the entire concept, and now we are in a position to check whether there is short trick or not. As it turns out, actually there is a short trick, and the short trick Short trick will apply. First of all, don't just blindly learn the short trick or memorize it. Short trick will be applicable only if I have a cube and each side of the cube has a resistance in it. Each side, there is 12 resistance in all, and all are of the same resistance, 2 ohm. It cannot be that this is 2 ohm, this is 1 ohm, this is 4 ohm. No, all identical resistances. In that case only we can apply a short trick, and that short trick is basically 5 by 6 into R. This will be the answer. Ohm. Simply 5 by 6. Don't even look at the cube, just your cube. Okay, so all the resistance are 2 ohm in this case. So our answer will be 5 by 6 into 2. That means 2 and 6 cancel, that's 5 by 3 ohm. And after doing all these calculations, we arrived at the same results here, right? 5 by 3 ohm. Okay, and if I told you all these resistance would be 1 ohm, in that case 5 by 6 into 1, in that case the answer would have been 5 by 6 ohms. Suppose I give the same questions, all the sorts of cube are resistance, but if the resistance of each resistor is 3 ohm, so 5 by 6 into 3, in that case you would have 5 by 2 or 2.5 ohms. So that is this is a short trick. 5 by 6 or 5 R by 6 ohm, that is a short trick. And here as because in this case R is 2, we get 5 by 3 ohm. So I hope this question was really interesting and this helped you I think the video was enjoyable, and maybe you already know this, but if you didn't do this then please know this. This is very interesting. So that's all I wanted to cover in this video. Thank you very much.